Hello and welcome to Sports Room. I'm Anirudh Madhavan and with me is veteran journalist Ayaz Memon. On today's episode, we'll be previewing the grand spectacle that promises to be the India-Pakistan match and also talk about what's gone on with the tournament so far. So right off the bat, Ayaz, a lot of centuries, a lot of high scores, a couple of spinning tracks, pretty much going as expected, right?
It is actually from India's point of view, certainly also from New Zealand's point of view, they've had two smash resounding wins. But let's to focus on India. I think the planning seems to have worked well. They've got the resources all in form. The batting is looking good or looking extraordinarily good, and so too is the bowling. Barring one or two, for instance, Siraj not doing too well against Afghanistan, or the batsmen, top three not doing well against Australia in the batting. But when you look at the bigger picture, I think India have looked extremely sharp, extremely competitive, and really in top form, in full flow. And it looks to me that this team it'll take some extraordinary effort to stop this team.
Yeah. We'll talk about India-Pakistan match in depth a few moments later. But overall, it's been all the teams have played almost two matches each. And who have been the standouts for you across teams?
Well, from where the teams are concerned, certainly India and then New Zealand, South Africa in the one match that they played as we speak is record score against Sri Lanka 428, and they've kind of hurled out a threat to all the other teams that watch out for us, we can spoil somebody's party. So Australia, they had a poor match against India. They in a way it looked like they had the match in their pockets, but they squandered the opportunity. And England have made a comeback after losing the first match pretty badly to New Zealand. So for the rest of the teams, it's been a mixed bag. Pakistan, I must say that in two tight matches, they were on the back foot, but in both they managed to overcome the odds, especially in the match against Sri Lanka, chasing 340 odd. And losing Babar Azam cheaply, it looked like it was a gone. It would be a kind of a completely downhill for them. But Mohammad Rizwan and Shafiq showing that there is a strength of character in their team. Remember, this was not an easy match to win, but they did it, I think, with a lot of style.
Talking about Pakistan, we move on to the India-Pakistan match. So, as for India, it's likely that Shubman Gill is going to miss this one also. But the way India are going, they might not miss him that much. And what are your expectations from the team for that match? And does Ashwin come in for Shardul Thakur now?
All very important considerations. I wish I had a firm answer, but yes, I mean, Shubman Gill, unlikely to play. Will he be missed? Yeah, I mean, look, when you're Shubman Gill, you're, reaching perhaps your zenith. This was a tournament which is to launch him into another level altogether, and he's not there. Remember also that he plays for Gujarat Titans, so in many ways, the Ahmedabad pitch is his home pitch or home wicket. So what he knows about that pitch, perhaps most of the other players may not, except say a Pandya. But that apart, I think what you're saying is right. That India has seemed to have ticked all the boxes. Even Ishan Kishan didn't have a good match against Australia. Neither did Rohit. Both came into form against Afghanistan. You can say Afghanistan is not a top-rung team, but even so, you still have to get the runs. Whether Ashwin will play or not, it's a very intriguing question. He had such a wonderful match against Australia, but then the Indians plumped for Shardul Thakur against Afghanistan on the Delhi pitch, which was not expected to give any help to either fast bowlers or spinners, but they thought spinners might be tonked for too many. Now on this pitch, again Gujarat Titans, Mohammad Shami is one of their stars. Plays a lot, has played a lot in Gujarat. He's not had a look in so far in this World Cup. Is this the match he's going to come in? Remember, Siraj had an off day against Afghanistan. And if the choice is between Shardul and Shami, it's going to be a tough one. Shardul, Shami or Ashwin is going to be a really tough call. But I think it's equally important to look at what's happening with Pakistan. So their batting still a little wobbly. I mean, both matches it was Mohammad Rizwan who bailed them out. Even in the first match where they lost a couple of wickets very early, it was Mohammad Rizwan who helped them overcome the challenge from Netherlands. And then in the match against Sri Lanka, he was absolutely wonderful. But the bigger problem I feel for Pakistan is in their bowling. Their much wanted bowling is just not looking threatening enough. Shaheen Shah Afridi has been, at best, competitive, but not looking deadly. Haris Rauf, who's the quickest of the lot, has been going as swiftly off the bat as he's coming onto the bat. People have been plundering runs of Haris Rauf. Shadab Khan, who's expected to do well on spinning tracks, hasn't looked like a wicket taker. He's getting the odd wicket here and there, but not looking seriously threatening. And that seems to me to be the big problem that Pakistan will have against this formidable Indian batting lineup, which goes right up to number 8. Whether it's Ashwin who plays there or Shardul, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, talking about both teams. So, what do you expect in the sense that, let's say you said Pakistan's batting is coming along nicely, and if their bowlers are in top form, they'll be threatening, obviously. But given that both teams are peaking at the right time and have the best game of their lives, what is the difference? Is it the spin department? Because that seems a little weak on the Pakistan side.
I think it's a couple of things. One is spin department, certainly, as you've put out. And also, I think in the pace department, I mean, Jasprit Bumrah has come back with, in fantastic form. So, just to play Jasprit Bumrah is a serious threat in itself. And if you've got good support from Siraj or Shami or Shardul or whoever plays, and then Pandya is bowling well. Remember, he's also one of those who he leads Gujarat Titans, so he understands those conditions that age better than most. I think it's also about confidence, Anirudh. I think that the Pakistanis haven't looked confident enough, while the Indians, even in that match against Australia where they wobbled seriously in losing 3 wickets for 2 runs, it never looked that they were, that their body language had kind of dropped or they looked completely perturbed. Rahul and Kohli batted superbly. And when they bowled extremely well. So I think it's also a measure of the mental toughness of both teams. Now, this is a subjective issue. Mental toughness is evident from how a team performs in crunch situations. We don't know whether Pakistan will recover strongly enough to perform better in tough situations, or India will, steamroll over them. Look, in World Cup history since 1992, India have never lost to Pakistan. The one time that the two teams didn't meet was in 2007. But apart from that, every time the two teams have met in the ODI World Cup, India have won. So there is a psychological, kind of a burden on Pakistan, which they'll have to emerge from, apart from all their current troubles.
Yeah. So that's speaking about what will happen on the field. Off field, or rather within the stadium, there's going to be a musical ceremony and a lot of big celebrities are going to come. So my question is this: for all the politics that surrounds India, Pakistan, politically, geopolitically, whatever, an India Pakistan match is still at the pinnacle of cricketing interest around the world, right?
Oh, it is. I mean, without doubt, it's the biggest rivalry in cricket, and it's the sport is actually suckered by the passion from people from cricket lovers from both the countries, and that passion then translates into profits for the ICC. The Indo-Pak match is a blockbuster, and it's the pivot on which ICC tournaments run. Certainly in ODI World Cups, and it still boggles my mind when I look back that in 1975, 1979, 1983, 1987, the two teams didn't play against each other, and therefore the loss was for the spectators as much as it was for the ICC and the respective cricket boards. But now, when you look at the ICC tournaments, obviously there is a match very early on in the league phase itself between India and Pakistan, in the hope that apart from this being a blockbuster, if they meet in the knockouts or in the semis or one of the later stages and perhaps even the final, then you can have a double whopper in the same tournament.
Yeah, I think not only the ICC, I think most cricket fans would want that clash to happen. So, looking forward to that. And that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thanks, Anirudh.